Before we dive into today's show, I really want to hit you with a fascinating question. So you see the graphic here to my right. Among these selections, what would you choose? A layup for $1,000, a free throw for $50K, a straight-on triple for $100,000, corner three for $500,000, $500,000, that's pretty nice, or a half-court shot for $1 million. I was talking with producer Coop. I'd probably go all in for the half-court shot to try to get that milli. Let me know by typing 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And with that, let's start today's show. This is the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Heener. Hope all of you out there are having a great week. Today's show, sponsored by Mint Mobile on America's largest 5G network with unlimited talk and text. Their cell phone plans begin as low as $15 per month. Start saving money today without changing your physical phone or your cell phone number by heading to mintmobile.com/chatsports. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So the purpose of today's show, taking a look at the Lakers roster and some of the kind of lineups that they can go with this upcoming season, because training camp actually getting underway at the end of the month. So let's start to dive into the players who are currently on the Lakers roster. Yes, Russell Westbrook, as we covered yesterday with the homie Marshall Green, did put his house in the Los Angeles area on the market, but he's still on the roster, so he's still a guard for the Lakers. Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker IV comes to Los Angeles from the San Antonio Spurs, where he was a former first-round pick coming out of Miami. Austin Reaves, Scottie Pippen Jr. is on a two-way contract. Max Christie, the second-round pick, 35th overall, and Javante McCoy. Really have to see what happens with Russell Westbrook, because that's a huge determining factor in what the Lakers are going to look like, how they're going to play stylistically, and the impact that he could have on some of the other players on this team. And of course, if you trade him away, then the roster changes a little bit. As for the forwards, let's pivot there. LeBron James, still one of the best players in the NBA. Juan Toscano Anderson, another free agent acquisition, end of the bench type. Wenyen Gabriel did surprise me a little bit last year with his length and athleticism. Troy Brown Jr., Fabian White Jr., and then Cole Swider, also on that two-way deal out of Syracuse, a Villanova transfer who can certainly shoot the three. We saw that throughout the NBA Summer League. And then lastly, it's the bigs. I think the Lakers are pretty solid here. You have Anthony Davis, who should be due for a bounce-back season. The acquisitions of Damian Jones as well as Thomas Bryant were a little bit underrated. Obviously, you want some more talented centers at that spot, but with both of them, kind of makes up for not having a great singular player. And then Jay Huff also on this team. So those right there are your bigs on the team. And for Anthony Davis, the pressure is on him after not only being off injured the last couple of years, but also improved the three-point shot to make you more dangerous. And also, if Darvin Ham comes up to you and wants you to play the 5 because he thinks it makes this roster better and different, kind of like what the Bucks have experimented with Giannis when Darvin Ham was there, then do it and don't be stubborn. So you just took a look at the entire Lakers 2022-23 roster. How would you grade it? Get that red pen out. Give us an A, B, C, D, or F. Honestly, I don't think this Lakers roster is all that good. I might go B- or C+ because Russell Westbrook is still on this squad, and I still think they have a lot of holes. Before we move forward in today's show, mentioned off the top, it's all sponsored by Mint Mobile. Unlimited premium wireless plans beginning as low as $15 per month if you head to mintmobile.com/chatsports. You don't have to change your cell phone number. You don't have to get a new physical cell phone. Unlimited talk and text, and you're on America's largest 5G network. But if 5G dies out, Mint Mobile pivots over to that 4G like some good point guards back in the day. And you can use your data however you like, even when Wi-Fi or coffee shops don't exist. That's how reliable Mint Mobile is. I've seen a bunch of you in the comment section saying, damn, Chat Sports, Mint Mobile as a sponsor, that's legit. I use Mint and it's fantastic. It's been game-changing for me. You want to see what I'm talking about? mintmobile.com/chatsports. So Lakers lineups and some of the combinations that Darvin Ham can use at his disposal. I'm excited to kind of dive into this. So how can Darvin Ham in his first year get the most out of the current crop of players that are on this team. Now, we've talked about the fact that Austin Reaves might be in this starting five, so let's operate under that premise, right? Russell Westbrook is your point guard. Austin Reaves will play the two. Thomas Bryant, probably the starting center, but Damian Jones can play there as well. Bryant, pretty solid player when he's not injured, which has been an issue last couple of years. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, both unicorns, and when they're right, when they're healthy. LeBron already a top 3 guy. Anthony Davis, top 5, top 10. And the situation is certainly fluid with Patrick Beverley as well as Jones, right? Both of them are options to potentially start if they need to, if they trade away Russell Westbrook, or if Thomas Bryant goes down. And I do like that flexibility. As for our NASCAR lineup, get up and down the floor in a blink and don't even have any hesitations about driving down the freeway. Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reaves. This allows you to get out and go and play a couple of different styles, but most importantly, up-tempo. And Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook can also give you dual options to handle the basketball in addition to LeBron James. Austin Reaves becomes a better three-point shooter and holds up a little bit better physically. Then I actually kind of like the starting five. And to be real with you, I actually think this is probably the Lakers' best lineup that they can throw out there. Patrick Beverley, given his three-point percentage from last year, he was mid-30s, upper 30s, already becomes the best three-point shooter on the Lakers roster in terms of three-point percentage. So to have a guy like that who gives you bulldog defense, who ain't scared of nobody, and can knock down some threes, I like the floor spacing there. Speaking of spacing the floor, if you want to do it furthermore, you can do so with this semblance of 5 guys. Hopefully, Kendrick Nunn can get back onto the floor because he is a good scoring player. Defensively, lacks in that department. But scoring, he can certainly put the biscuit in the basket. Lonnie Walker, we finally talk about him. I think there's a better player in there than what we've seen with the San Antonio Spurs. Thomas Bryant, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. You pretty much know what you're going to get from those 3 players, especially the King and Anthony Davis, if they're able to stay healthy. And if none is able to stay healthy, because there are question marks there, just like there are question marks with how LeBron James ages and Anthony Davis, if he's not injury prone or if he continues to be injury prone, Kendrick Nunn can have a big impact coming in off the bench to give you that scoring punch. If you want to go small ball, Anthony Davis, play a little 5 here. Lonnie Walker, you can shift over to that wing spot. So too can Austin Reaves. But really, you have a semblance here of 4 guards who can make a variety of things happen on or off the ball. Russell Westbrook has to be a little bit more open to playing off ball. We know he's been stubborn throughout his NBA career. But when you're about to be outed and ousted in the NBA because you're insistent on how you play one way as compared to how your team wants you to play, you got to be able to give in a little bit and make some sacrifices, especially if you want to win. That's a note right there to Russ. How about some pick and roll action now? You can really run a lot of pick and rolls with this team. LeBron James is the point guard here, but dribble handoff to Austin Reaves. And then you put it into action for a little pick and roll. Anthony Davis can play outside. He can play inside. He can be a screen and roller. He can be a pick and pop guy from about mid-range. Damian Jones can do that a little bit, but I prefer him being around the rim. And then Lonnie Walker has the athleticism to come off a pick and roll with the head of steam. So with that, you be the coach now, Laker Nation, and get into the comments section to let us know your favorite Lakers lineup down in the comments section. Very fascinated to see what you all come up with. And if this tells us anything about the Los Angeles Lakers, they need upgrades to compete in a stacked Western Conference. They don't have enough shooting. They don't have enough athleticism. They don't have enough elite playmakers coming in off that second option. Now, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis play like MVP candidates, that will elevate the Lakers' floor right now. But right now, that floor or that ceiling is somewhat low because of the lack of assets that we talked about with this current iteration of the roster. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. News, rumors, analysis all year long. Even when we're in the doldrums of the NBA offseason, we're still cooking up interactive and informative Lakers analysis. So lock us in, hit that red subscribe button for the best year-round Lakers coverage. And as always, Laker Nation, we appreciate you for tuning in.